So by now you've probably heard of BABYMETAL. They've been big in Japan for quite some time now, either from TikTok or their recent collabs with Bring Me the Horizon and Lil Uzi. They're best known for their cute but gothic outfits, almost doll-like features, and their unique sound consisting of idol-like pop and heavy metal. Hence, BABYMETAL. If you're anything like me, you'd immediately be curious about who they are and how they came to be, because they had been making music with artists I'd known. Not gonna lie, the first time I heard of them was on TikTok because of their song Give Me Chocolate. I'm sure it's the same with a lot of people because that was a big sound at the time. But when they released Shingeki as a single, I actually stumbled across it on their Apple Music and I had a listen and it was so good. It wasn't like any of the other stuff I heard from them. It was magnificent. It's a common misconception that they only have pop vocals, but they have a wider range than what I had thought. From doing my research, I learned about a lot of things that made me go, wow, I had no idea about this because it was just crazy. They had exceeded my expectations times 1,000. So after listening to them a little bit more, I decided, hey, I want to learn about them. So BABYMETAL is a Japanese kawaii metal band with members Suzuka Nakamoto, known as Su-Metal, Mo Kikuchi as Mo-Metal, and Momoko Okazaki as Momo-Metal. Their vocals are backed up by relatively heavy metal played by the group called the Kami Band. So what are their origins? Well, the band first started in 2010 with the OG lineup Su-Metal, which was the dance and vocals, Mo-Metal doing scream and dance, and finally Yu Mizuno as Yui-Metal, who did scream and dance as well. With the concept of combining heavy metal and then a pop idol-like vocal, assortment, they had birthed a new genre referred to as BABYMETAL. Suzuka, aka Su-Metal, is the youngest out of 3 sisters. She was born December 20th, 1997, in Hiroshima. From a young age, she always wanted to become a star. Starting in 2002, she had won a contest for a Toiling commercial. She was only 9 years old when she started the school for acting in Hiroshima, alongside another Sakuragakuin member. In 2007, she was signed to a talent agency, Amuse, after becoming a runner-up in her audition for that label. She was also formerly in the band Karen Girls, a typical J-pop idol group that was formed in 2008 and only disbanded a year later. Fun fact, her mother actually works with Gemstones and gives the girls in BABYMETAL some of her works. Yui Mizuno, aka Yui-Metal, as you may know, is a former member that left in 2018. She was born on June 20th, 1999 in Kanagawa. Yui is the middle child of 2 brothers. In the 3rd grade, she was a fan of the group Karen Girls, Su-Metal's previous group, and she had always wanted to join. When Karen Girls disbanded, at their farewell concert, she actually got to meet all 3 of the members. It should also be mentioned that Yui has an obsession with tomatoes. She eats them whole like an apple, So, she loves them so much, in fact, that she actually said that if the world was ending, she would want to be eating a tomato. She also has a liking for stargazing and constellations. Mo Kikuchi, aka Mo-Metal, was born on July 4th, 1999 in Nagoya, and is an only child. She is labeled an otaku idol, and in interviews Mo had mentioned her favorite bands being Bring Me the Horizon, Limp Bizkit, and of course, Metallica. In her spare time, Mo also likes to watch things like anime, her favorite show being Love Live, or Love Live. In a nutshell, the anime is just about idols. And last but not least, Momo-Metal, the newest metal. We have Momo-Metal, the newest member of the group. She is the youngest member of the band, being born on March 3rd, 2003. Her hometown is Kanagawa Prefecture, but when she was 3, they had moved to Fukuoka Prefecture. Momo is the second daughter of a Japanese comedian. In 2019, she was one of the 3 girls subbing in for the absence of Yui-Metal, later taking the 3rd spot in BABYMETAL. In October 2018, BABYMETAL had announced that Yui would be departing from the band. Her decision bordered around having poor health and not being able to perform. It's theorized amongst fans what could have gone wrong with her, but it's always all over the place. It's either doesn't want to be doing it anymore, or she's genuinely sick. But the good news is that she does want to pursue a solo career later in her life. Another former member of BABYMETAL, Mikio Fujioka, unfortunately passed away in a really tragic accident. The incident involved him falling from an observation deck while stargazing on December 30th, later passing away from his injuries. He first joined BABYMETAL in 2013, touring with them and playing festivals as a guitarist. So how did BABYMETAL start exactly? Well, it began with this group called Sakuragakuin, aka the Cherry Blossom Academy. It was a Japanese idol group for young girls. The group's age range was between Japanese compulsory education, which is elementary school to middle school age. Sakuragakuin also contained either 10 or 12 members at a time. The group had a theme of school livelihood and club activities similar to actual school life. So finally, when their academic year ended, the group of girls would then release an annual studio album. New members transferred in, The old members graduated or left. BABYMETAL then became an independent act in 2013, following Suzuka Nakamoto's departure from the band Sakuragakuin in 2013. So let's talk albums now. BABYMETAL has released 4 studio albums since their creation, their first album being the self-titled BABYMETAL, which came out in February 2014. Their second album, Metal Resistance, was released worldwide in April 2016. Their third studio album being Metal Galaxy in October 2019. The fourth album, the other one, which is my personal favorite, was released recently in March 2023. Now we're going to get into the meat of the whole video, which is their entire history. And it is a lengthy one. It is very much so... It's a lot. It's a lot of history they have. At the very beginning of the band, during 2009, BABYMETAL's producer, BABYMETAL, had started beginning to plan the creation of the band. The idea was a cute girl idol theme, but with intense heavy metal. After he was impressed with Sue Metal's performance with her previous group, Karen Girls, he began thinking about how she would be a wonderful lead vocalist for the group. The band was officially formed in 2010 in the city Tokyo. Initially, they were the heavy metal segment of Sakuragakuin. The band's name comes from the combination baby, which represents a more idol-like sound, or it's also referred to as a birth to a new genre, and then metal, which is obviously metal. According to BABYMETAL, their producer, Yui Metal and Mo Metal were added to the group to enhance Sue's performance. With their smaller physique, they danced around her like little angels. None of the 3 members were very familiar with metal before the band. I mean, they were very young, so I don't really blame them. And for reference, I had watched the video BABYMETAL reacts to YouTubers react to BABYMETAL, and they said that they had a similar reaction to the people that were watching them, which is, oh my god, metal is so crazy. BABYMETAL's first live performance was on November 28th, 2010 at the Sakuragakuin Festival, which was also Sakuragakuin's first solo concert. During July of 2011, BABYMETAL premiered their song No More Bullying at a Sakuragakuin show. At the time, it was exclusive to only being played at live shows. The band's first single, Doki Doki Morning, first appeared on Sakuragakuin's debut album. A music video was uploaded to YouTube and then achieved 1 million views, which is awesome. During 2013, BABYMETAL had played the Summer Sonic Festival, a heavy metal music festival, performing shows both in Tokyo and Osaka. They later went on to record a promo video for Metallica's new movie, Through the Never. The next year, in 2014, BABYMETAL had released their first album that contained 13 songs. This album was really well received by the public and critics in Japan, selling over 30,000 plus copies in the first week. The album had climbed the charts, topping iTunes metal charts in Germany, the United Kingdom, and the United States. At the start of March, the band had performed 2 concerts at Budokan, becoming the youngest girl band to ever play there. In early April, for timeline's sake, this is when the YouTube video came out, featuring creators like Markiplier and Ian and Anthony from Smosh reviewing their music videos. The music videos being Line, Doki Doki Morning, and Give Me Chocolate. Then the girls' reaction would be posted in 2016. A month later in March, BABYMETAL announced their first world tour, of course named the BABYMETAL World Tour, performing in places such as Paris and Cologne? Cologne. A UK festival was then added to the tour because of a very successful fan campaign for them to go there. The campaign being named BABYMETAL for Sonosphere 2014. After the UK portion of the tour, BABYMETAL went on to make their first appearance in the US during July with their debut in Hollywood. This is where it gets crazy, okay? They have performed with several very well-known bands such as Metallica, Slayer, Anthrax. Also, not to mention that he performed at a music festival in Japan with bands such as Avenged Sevenfold and Megadeth. And finally, they were also the opening act of Lady Gaga's US Western tour in 2014. During their Brixton performance, they had revealed a new single, and then it was revealed to be a collaboration with Herman Lee and Sam Topman of the one and only power metal band Dragon Force, which is absolutely crazy. In 2015, the trio then decided to make a surprise appearance on Dragon Force's set, performing Give Me Chocolate, even though the event organizers said that they would never allow them to perform there. During the band's performance in Yokohama Arena in December, they had announced their second album to be released on the 1st of April 2016, as well as a world tour beginning in London, and then finishing up in Japan. In the new year, the album's title was dropped, being Metal Resistance. It was said that the band had come up with that name because it represented who they were, and what they were capable of as BABYMETAL. Sue claimed that it was about exploring new and different aspects of what they could do. Fun fact, BABYMETAL were added into a Wii U game, the video game being Super Mario Maker. WWE's Triple H, known for being one of the best wrestlers of all time, announced on Twitter that BABYMETAL's new song Karate would be the theme song for NXT TakeOver, which is a wrestling broadcast produced by the WWE. Next, the band made an appearance at an Alternative Press Music Award, where they had performed their song Karate, before being joined by Judas Priest frontman Rob Halford, Rob with Sue Metal and the Kami Band had performed a short version of Painkiller and then later performed a song that you may know, Breaking the Law, which is a very iconic song. Nearing the end of 2016, BABYMETAL had finished up their tour at the Tokyo Dome, with both nights totally sold out with 55,000 people each night. The band members claimed that they have always dreamed about performing at the Tokyo Dome and how it felt so surreal to have gotten a chance to perform there. In December 2016, BABYMETAL had been the opener for Red Hot Chili Peppers in the UK during the Peppers' The Getaway Tour. During their final show, the drummer for Red Hot Chili Peppers, Chad, had jumped up on stage and then performed Breaking the Law and Painkiller with them once again. Afterwards, Chad Smith had thanked BABYMETAL and then had everybody sing Happy Birthday to Sue because it was her birthday. 2017. Very start, BABYMETAL had opened for Metallica at their worldwide tour. They had also opened for Guns N' Roses in the same year. Summertime, they also just so stumbled across Korn and had played with Korn. They supported them during their Serenity of the Summer tour, and then afterwards they began the Five Fox Festival in Japan. End of 2017, BABYMETAL had revealed that they were working on a theme song for the TV show Unikitty, the show being the same vibe as like Agretsuko. So basically, like what Unikitty is the one Duplo figure from the end of the Lego movie. During the 2nd and 3rd of December, BABYMETAL had performed in Sue's hometown, it being their very first time performing in Hiroshima. It would be a coming-of-age celebration because her birthday was coming up. The 20th birthday represents the age of majority in Japan. The lyrics to their song, Headbanger, is about a girl's 15th birthday, but they had altered the lyrics for this specific occasion. It should also be noted that this is the first concert that they had performed without Yui because she was too ill. May 1st, 2018, BABYMETAL had finally launched their own record label, BABYMETAL Records. During this year, Yui Metal wasn't able to perform for their US portion of the tour. With no warning in advance, fans obviously started to speculate with her status with the group. The American management for the tour had responded saying that Yui was just ill and would probably be back, but overall she wouldn't be attending the US tour. She ended up missing the rest of BABYMETAL's tour, and the agency mentioned that she had been in poor health since 2017. Mid-October, before the Japanese portion of their world tour, they had released a single, Starlight. But on the same day, Yui had announced that she would be departing with the band. She later explained that her decision was based on her poor health and that she wishes to hopefully pursue a solo career later, once she's in better health. Now we're into 2019. BABYMETAL announced their third album, Metal Galaxy. A month later, they had released their single Elevator Girl. Then, another announcement was made that they would be returning to England for the beginning of the summer. They had performed at the Glastonbury Festival, making them the only Japanese band that made one of the main stages. June, they released their single Papaya, which is a very fun song. I like it very much, with a Thai rapper that goes by F Hero as the feature. It features one of the 3 girls subbing in for Yui at the time as well, that girl being Kano Fujihira. The other 2 girls that were taking place as the Avengers were named Riho Sayashi and Momoko Okazaki. Following a performance, they had announced another world tour, labeled the Metal Galaxy World Tour. Then, their scheduled performance in Hong Kong was cancelled due to the protests. The protests had taken place in 2019 to 2020 about a new law that had been passed that people didn't really agree with. And then, as the story goes for many other artists, they had to cancel the entirety of the rest of the world tour because of COVID-19. In April, they did a Stay Home concert, which was pretty cute, which they called Stay Home, Stay Metal. They had streamed it via YouTube. For the most part, 2020 to 2021 is fairly quiet, as goes for everybody on the planet during the pandemic. 2022, they were also featured in a Bring Me the Horizon song called Kingslayer, with the song being released in October. BABYMETAL had released their album, The Other One. It was revealed to be a concept album released on March 24th, 2023. BABYMETAL fans have been conspiring for a while about whether a third member was going to join the band or if it was just going to stay with rotating members. But then during one of their performances, it was officially announced that Momo would be joining them as Momo Metal in 2023. This pretty much concludes the whole history that I could find on BABYMETAL, and I think it's very interesting how they've collabed with like all the bands that I've known forever and just never knew that they ever intertwined. But yeah, other than that, this is my first video with my face in it. I think it's okay, maybe. I'm not sure yet, I haven't edited yet, but thank you so much for watching, and subscribe if you want, maybe. I try really hard, I'm still new to this.